Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but to your point, I think we're being very thoughtful about, when we're buying a new building, what's it going to look like to lease it up, and who's going to backfill a 20 or a 40,000 foot box now, and what types of tenants are going to be making a ton of sense in an age where Amazon's probably just going to continue to grow, right? And so we know some of those things, and you can do the math, think about your own consumer preferences and what's going to make sense. But there's a lot of things that excited me about Phoenix and continue to do so when I think about the fact that it's very employer friendly, that you've got tons of jobs moving there and people, and like you talked about, retail demand there, so that all has that trickle down effect to more retailers wanting to open or expand in those locations. I like the fact that it's landlord friendly, and I tell a lot of my friends or colleagues who want to invest alongside of us in projects, it's like, look, we could buy a shopping center in Orange County, California, and maybe we get a 4 cap on it, and that almost that same deal with the same tenant mix might trade at a 6.5, 7.5, possibly even an 8 cap if you go over to greater Phoenix. And so that's almost doubling the return on investment. And for me, like you said, that's worth jumping on an hour flight, doing a day trip and coming back a couple times a year to meet with the tenants and the lenders and the vendors and see what's going on there and be boots on the ground. Because I think about doubling my returns, we can, build that nest egg or build that cash flow that much faster. Rather than taking 10 years to build that net worth, we might be doing that in half the time. So it's really helping to compress that time. It also feels like, Arizona is one of the hottest spots in the whole country, like both literally and figuratively, right?
Yep.
You hear about Florida, you hear about Texas, and you absolutely hear about Arizona now. So